Welcome back to the blog. It is me, myself, and I. And it's Friday, caffeine day. Yep, still hits.
It's Friday, gotta get down on Friday.
We're cool. This is how I get hurt.
If we don't know each other just yet, I'm Adriana. I'm a performer going through an ACL healing journey. And in today's video, we're gonna take a second and sit down. And we're gonna talk some things out. Because I got things to say. Notes to give. I'm kidding. Totally kidding. Today we're talking about cruise ships and performing on cruise ships. As I said in my first video, and you can go ahead and watch it, it's still there, I got my first contract with Carnival as a singer-dancer back in March. And I was traveling the Caribbean in the beautiful Carnival Sunrise until mid-June. Unfortunately, I had to leave due to my medical emergency, surgery, ACL, and all. But even in the short amount of time that I was actually at sea, I learned a lot. Not only about the performance industry, but just ships, cultures, and different countries in general. And I'm truly grateful for that. Believe me when I say we will be going back on a boat very soon. And that's on manifesting. Since coming back to Orlando, I've gotten a lot of questions from you guys. What was like living on a ship, what was like going to other countries, how it worked through the rehearsal process, and therefore I've been wanting to do a couple of videos to answer your questions. So that's why today we're going to talk about 10 things that I truly wish I knew before I got into performing on cruise ships. Most of these are just technical things about the industry, but also things that as a person they will still help me in any other area of performance, choreography, teaching that I go to. I think what made the contract what it was is plain and simple, the people I met. My Sunrise team, you're here. Where's my... Hopefully my heart is here. I don't know where my heart is right now. I miss those people so much. I miss the ship and I can't wait to go back. Hopefully very soon. With that said, if you're interested in knowing more about cruise ships, performance in general, do go ahead and subscribe. Hit the like, leave a comment. Please leave me questions. I'm here to answer. Some of you like to watch, some of you like to learn, but you don't support. And it doesn't cost you any money. You can just click subscribe. So, please. Pretty please. Anyways, let's get into the conversation. Let's get started. The first thing I want to say, and this is no matter what role you have on a ship, safety is first. You can be a server, a stewardess, an actress. Your main priority on that ship is to make sure you, the crew, and the guests are safe. From the moment I accepted my contract, they are drilling safety in your head. And rightly so. I'm not trying to go down anytime soon. I'm not even talking about the medical stuff you have to do before even going into rehearsal. They have to make sure you are fit for duty, okay? And I've heard of stories of people getting their contracts revoked because they didn't pass their medical. Long story short, you can be the most talented person ever, but safety is first. Once you sign on, you have training on training on training on training. You leave knowing how to save lives. You leave knowing how to put out a fire. If you needed to save somebody in the water, like, yo, you know how to do it all after working on a ship. The amount of hours that you spend on these trainings are obviously going to be draining. As a new hire, you do have more trainings. Once you get to your second and third contract, those certifications do last a few years, around 5 years, which is not bad. You also have the weekly drills, which are honestly, they're not that bad. The bad thing is if you overslept. I don't think anybody overslept because those sounds, the alarm going off, you're awoken, you go to your muster station. Muster stations. Oh, Forgot about those. Every embarkation day, you have muster stations. You're not having to do them every cruise, at least as a performer, but it is part of your duties as a crew member to ensure that the guests know how to put on their life jackets and save their lives in case of an emergency. There's also emergency duties that you get assigned to in case of an emergency. Because I was a new hire, I didn't get one at first. I had to go through all my training in order to be able to assist in the emergencies. But again, it's just part of the job having to assist with that. Now, going into the performance aspect of it all, when it comes to performing in cruise ships, consistency goes above everything. When I talk about consistency as an artist, in the musical theater world, I'm obviously used to being able to play around, give characters my own twist, be able to play around and have time. I think like a usual musical theater rehearsal period, it will be around a month, 2 months. In the cruise ship world, you need to be able to do that in less than a week. They want to see the finished product before it goes into the ship. And on top of that, you need to be able to consistently produce the same product you had in the studios every single cruise. At the end of the day, you are the artist. You can do what you want within the integrity of the show, but it is at a way quicker pace. Another thing I will say is the culture shock. I don't know what I was expecting about living on a ship. It is way different than what you're used to. I think I underestimated how different my life was gonna be. It's not like moving to a new country, it's like moving to a whole new galaxy. Okay. Especially for the first timers, it was a struggle acclimating to the type of environment because you are quickly pulled out of your comfort zone. Even just sleeping in a different bed, it's a whole different reaction in your body. Obviously, not having my family and my loved ones was really hard, especially because the Wi-Fi situation is harder, and I'll talk about that in a second. But not being able to communicate with my family every day as I am used to was a little bit hard. Not having access to the food that I like just because was hard. Like, it's the simple things. I'm not gonna say it was a major struggle because I do thrive on my personal time. It was for sure different, and it did put a weight on my mental health. I think also the amount of free time that I found myself having was weird. Like, you're not on vacation, you are working, and then you go to your room and it's like, what do I do? At the very beginning, you just want to enjoy it, but then it starts getting real. Like, oh, I have to do laundry, oh, I have to hire to a new schedule, ship time. Keeping a consistent schedule but also a flexible schedule is important. Again, your main job is to be in the ship, period. So it's not like you're running away from responsibilities, but just making sure that you're at every responsibility is important. As a person that likes to be consistently busy, I find myself sleeping a lot, especially in the install period, because it's 8-hour days and more, and then you just want to sleep. After you have a consistent schedule in the ship, it's like, what do I do? So it was important for me to schedule things, be sure that I was on time on my personal needs. One thing I struggled was meals. And this sounds very silly. Having my food schedule was hard. Stuff happens. You overslept a little bit, then the mess is closed. When the mess opens up for lunch, you have work. You don't have time to go to dinner because you have to prep for the show. I had like 2 days, 3 days like that I didn't eat. I only ate Pop-Tarts. Adhering to a schedule that is not yours is for sure very important. And again, you have to do it quickly, because if not, you're gonna starve to death. There's a few limitations that come with the job. If you're used to having your room, going able to just go outside, having Wi-Fi all the time, laying in a big queen bed, the simple life, let's just say that's not how it goes. You have to adhere to so many rules, and it all leads up back to the whole safety thing. Again, I don't know how it works in other ships, but in Carnival, there are monthly inspections in rooms. Things like perishables, fruit, vegetables, things that can rot, anything that plugs into the wall, sprays, heights. There's safety protocols that don't allow us to have that in our rooms, in the dressing rooms. If you have it, you don't say it, you just have to hide it. You know, the idea of having things banned from your life, it's already crazy enough. On top of that, the room situation. As a singer and dancer in Carnival, I am blessed, to say the least, to have my own space. We're still having bunk beds that are, yeah, they're tiny. And it doesn't compare to a regular size room, obvi, but there are worse situations than what I had, so I'm not gonna complain. Another thing, this is so stupid, it sounds so Gen Z of me, but it's the Wi-Fi situation. The company gives out WhatsApp texting for free any time of the day, 24/7. So communicating is not as bad. I think as a 26-year-old Gen Z brat, the hardest thing was not being on social media, watching YouTube, and all the fun stuff. But I will say the positive side of it is that you get to rest from the screen. I saw it as a positive thing, not being on my phone all the time. If I can't be on my phone, I'll just grab a book. If I can't be on YouTube, I'll just work out at the gym. It's not as bad as it seems. And there are plans for you to buy if I had to upload a video, or, you know, if I'm working my UGC and I have to send a video to a brand, I'll just pay for the Wi-Fi, or I'll also wait until I'm at port. I'll go to the Grand Turk, Starbucks, and use that Wi-Fi, or I'll wait to go to Miami where I have service. So it honestly wasn't that bad. I was still able to text for the most part, and then when I have the chance to spend a little bit of money on my Wi-Fi, I can do a little bit of FaceTime with my people, which is important, of course. Overall, there's limitations that come with a job, and you just need to adapt to it. Let's talk about the packing situation, okay? The biggest problem that I had was not knowing what to pack. And I think hearing from other experiences was good, but at the end of the day, there's no perfect way to pack. I think for me, my struggle was that I wanted to take everything, and I ended up taking too many suitcases for my liking. And what I realized when I got to the ship is that you don't have to take everything all at once. I wanted to take everything that I had here to save money, and I honestly ended up just overloading myself. And then you're at the ports and you just want to shop. When I ended up having to pack to leave, it was a crazy situation. So with that said, my best advice for packing is pack light. You don't need all your Lelucas. You don't need every single sport bra and legging that you have. You don't need all your purses. You don't need that. You don't need that. On top of that, the simple things are a privilege. And I'm talking about getting air and sunlight. You're probably like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Yeah, I could be days without actually stepping outside, especially in the first 2 weeks of install when you're rehearsing from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. and all you want to do after is go to sleep, shower, grab some dinner. It is a privilege to go outside. But when you do, as a performer, you get time to step out of the ports. In Carnival ships, you can go to Serenity, get a little bit of a tan. But I think people assume that because you're on a ship, that's your whole personality, being outside and tanning. No, babes. No, babes. Honestly, next time I'm on a ship, I should schedule walking outside. Speaking as a singer, the air conditioning in these ships, caca. Pro tip, get yourself an air purifier or a humidifier. It will save you so much time, so much dehydration, so much warming up Something that was drilled on us at the studios that was surprising at first was the idea that other crew members are gonna hate you if you're a performer. Let's talk about it. I don't think it's 100% true. I do believe that a lot of crew members have predispositions about performers because they only see us performing at night. We can go out in guest areas. I don't know about every ship, but I know in Carnival specifically, performers do have a little bit of more privileges than other departments. You only really see them working when they're performing. Other crew members don't see the work that we already did in the studios. They don't see the years of training and performing that we've done before even getting these contracts. We don't just apply to work. We audition, we train for a few months, and then we go on the ships to do these, right? I remember even at the first orientation, the first thing they say is be nice to the crew members on ship because they are doing a lot of heavy lifting once you're at sea. Yes, we are singing, we are dancing, we are breaking our butts off, but we also have to admire what the other people do, especially the people that are more exposed to the guest, because we all know we love our Karens and our Kevins. Another thing that I didn't believe at first but I just found super funny. People in general, and I'm speaking about guests too, they see you appear. They assume you are an egotistical narcissist. As a performer, you also become kind of like the face of the ship. Once you've done your welcome aboard show and you go the next day to get some coffee, everybody's looking at you. They know who you are. They will come to you, they will compliment your performance, they might criticize your performance. Even in the crew areas, people recognize you. Self-image is very important as a performer, unfortunately. I hate to say this, but I'm the type of person that I assume everybody thinks I'm a bitch. Because I'm very shy. You know, social anxiety. Ooh. If you work with me on the ship and you thought I was a bitch, I promise I'm not. I promise I'm not. Another topic that might be a little controversial. It's okay if you're not friends with everybody. In the musical theater world, on the first day of rehearsal, the cast is family. And on ships, it is not like that. In a regular musical theater land job, you get to do the work for a few hours in rehearsal, and then you're able to leave and do your own thing, be with your loved ones. On ships, you are living with the people you're working with. I think at the very beginning, it was kind of weird when people started like drifting into their own thing. I think as a human, it's very important to have your own personal time. And it was okay. People are not going to be bad, and you're still going to see them at work. People that were a little bit more dependable struggle with that. I think at first you assume the worst. Oh my gosh, is it me? Am I the problem? But honestly, no. It's important to respect people's personal space, and you are going to want your personal space as well. I think at first you really want to be social, you want to meet everybody, you want to go to every party at Crew Bar, go to every event in the ports, but once everything settles in, people want their personal space, and I truly respect that. But a really positive thing about the ship life is that you get to meet so many people from so many different countries, and you make friends for life. I learned a lot about the world just working on ships. I met people from all around the world, Africa, Europe, Asia, and it's honestly extremely beautiful. You are surprised about how close-minded you really were. And not only learn from them, but also respect the differences, you know? For me, it was amazing to hear different stories and learn how other people live around the world. And you never know, maybe you have to go to a different country and you know somebody from that country because you work with them. It is an incredible experience. Let me do this. Mira. That was my most favorite part of the job, being able to meet so many different people. And that, folks, is our video. Boop, boop, boop. I hope you got a little bit of understanding about the ship life. If you're interested on more videos like these, please go ahead and like and subscribe. Also, go ahead and follow my social media. Feel free to DM me with questions, comments, concerns. I'm going to leave you to. I'm just gonna finish my Celsius and do everything else that I need to do today. Have a beautiful rest of your day, and we'll see you next Saturday. Bye bye.